हरिओम फ्रेंड्स, सभी को आत्मवंदन। Yesterday we were explaining about reflected consciousness, which is called Chidabhas. So it was decided, let us repeat this knowledge again, because it is very, very fundamental, very pivotal for understanding of Advait teachings. The most fundamental sutra of Advait teachings is that there is one reality. There is one reality. You may call it by whatever name: pure consciousness, pure awareness, Atman, self, the absolute, which is changeless, eternal, always fresh, untinted. That is one reality, consciousness, pure consciousness. And our true nature is that pure consciousness. I am the self, you are the self. But when it comes to the experiential level, we do not feel that. That realization is not there that we are the pure consciousness. Because at the level of pure consciousness, we are limitless, we are eternal, we are infinite, we are blissful. So what happens? That I start considering myself as limited body-mind complex. So the sages have told, the sages have explained that pure consciousness reflects in our mind. There is a reflection of pure consciousness in each one of us, and our body, our mind, our egoic mind acts as a mirror. In that reflection comes of the pure consciousness. And then there is a identification with body mind. And I consider myself as a separate entity. It becomes jiva, jivatma, or mind or ego. And I feel myself separate. So the I, which I call myself I, you call yourself I, that is only a reflected consciousness, which is limited, which is colored, which gets tinted, because every one of us has different combinations of gunas, sadgun, rajgun, tamgun. So the pure consciousness gets reflected in this instrument, our antahakaran, the mind, depending upon the impurities of that mind. That is why I am different, you are different, third person is different. Some are coming here to listen to this satsang, others are going to the restaurant, others are interested in the worldly affairs. Why so? Because every one of us is having different traits, different attributes based upon the combination of Trigun, Prakriti, Sattva, Raj, and Tam. So what is the way out? How do we understand? How do we realize our true nature, that is the pure consciousness? So Raman Maharshi says, you try to investigate this I. What is this I? Reflected consciousness. Aham idam. Focus your total attention on I. And when you focus your attention on I, the I moving forward, I going outward is not possible. Its movement outside is arrested. It has to stay as it is. It does not get attached with other things. It doesn't go into the Jagat Prapancha. It does not associate with other objects. It has to stay here. And then Raman Maharshi says, try to find out what is this I and what is its source. Because the source of this I is the pure awareness. So once we keep our attention on this I, which is the reflected consciousness, which is the Chidabhas, by constantly putting our attention and trying to know from where it is arising, this I, which is the mind, which is the ego, which is the reflected consciousness, it goes back, it is traced back to its source, which is the pure consciousness. So the purpose of self-inquiry is to find out what is this shadow consciousness. Reflected consciousness means shadow consciousness. Because in a way it is not there. You take a example of mirror. You are there and mirror is there. You see your face in the mirror and you consider, I am this. But is that face in the mirror is there or is not there? It is not there. It is only the reflection. It is only a shadow. So you are only seeing your face. If somebody has to say, can you see yourself? Very difficult. You can't see yourself. You can see only through your reflection into the mirror. The same holds true even for the pure consciousness. People say experiencing the pure consciousness. Pure consciousness cannot be experienced in the way that there is a seer and there is a seen. Because pure consciousness is not the object. It cannot be an object. Pure consciousness is ultimate seer, ultimate subject. So, and it is infinite. So there can be no duality. There can be no seer, no seen. It is ever present reality. So the best way to describe it, that state is total silence, total stillness, when the mind is eliminated or mind get dissolved or the I sense of personality gets dissolved. Similarly, Nisargadatta Maharaj advises us to stay at the pure sense of being, I amness. What is this? This is again reflected consciousness in its pure form, without getting attached and associated with this and that. If you just stay at the I am, pure I am, then you are at a very pure level of reflected consciousness. And once you stay there, then this I amness, this sense of being will also become an object. And the ultimate subject, that is the pure consciousness, will get revealed because it is self-revealed. How does the sun will know itself? Sun does not know itself. Sun is self-known because it is self-luminous. It is the ultimate source of light. So what is the difference in this analogy of sun and the pure consciousness? Sun is Jad. Sun is Jad. And our pure consciousness, that is Chetan. So it is much more powerful, potent, absolute source of everything. So Nisargadatta Maharaj gives us a sutra of I am, stay at I am, continuously dive into I am, and when this I am, which is the subject, will also become object, then you are that pure consciousness. And in the Raman Maharshi teachings, you just put your attention on I with the exploration where from it is arising. That is the source of I. Then you reach the real I. So when we say I, every one of us says I, don't we have the feeling of some current of awareness? When I say I means I am aware. So being aware, whenever I say I am aware. That means only I am aware or I am. But it is a reflected consciousness because when I say I always identify myself with my limited self, body, mind, senses. And once I put my all attention here and try to see how it has arisen, from where it has arisen, then it is journey back to the source, which is pure consciousness, where there is no limitation, there is no identification, there is no mind, which leads to the revelation, uncovering of that pure consciousness, which I am, which you are, which Nisargadatta Maharaj says, I am that. The same truth is echoed by Raman Maharshi. You are the self. Be the self. Sant Gyaneshwar, in one of his OV number 20, explains it nicely. Nu sadhe mukh jaise, देखी जत से दर्पण मिसे, वायांची देखने ऐसे गमो लागे. The reflected image makes you aware of your face. You are not aware of your face if there is no mirror. When there is a mirror, you become aware of your own face. But it is not your real face. What is seen in the mirror, that is not your real face. The same way, the pure consciousness reflects in the mind, and you consider yourself as I. That I is not real. This is what Raman Maharshi is saying. Like your face in the mirror is not real. But you are aware of your face only when you see your face in the mirror. So this face is its reflection which you see. So in fact, this seeing becomes meaningless as you cannot see reality, which is holistic. कहते हैं, this seeing of your face like this is pointless because you cannot see the reality. which is holistic. Holistic means which is whole. Whole cannot be seen. Only the part can be seen as an object. So what is the point in seeing your face? The face which you consider you are, that is pointless, that is meaningless. You become aware of your face by seeing into mirror, and you have an image of that mirror into your mind, awareness. But that image is false. So if you substitute your face from pure consciousness, the Sant Gyaneshwar is trying to say that this pure consciousness cannot be known, cannot be experienced, cannot be seen, because it is holistic, it is whole, it is integrated, it is infinite. And the reflected consciousness, which we consider ourselves I, is not true. Like the face in mirror. One more obi of Sant Gyaneshwar is also very pertinent again. तैसे न वचताम भेदा संबिति गमे त्रिधा हेची जाने प्रसिद्धा उपपत्ति हया. This holistic essence, pure consciousness, pure awareness, appear triangularly. It appears in three forms without disturbing its holistic nature. संत ज्ञानेश्वर कह रहे हैं कि this reality, this essence expresses itself in a triangular form, triangular way, without compromising, without disturbing its holistic nature. The essence appear as seer, seen and seeing. Triputi. Seer, drishta, seen, drishya, seeing, darshan. As he, capital He, pulsates with his existential inspiration, which is I amness. He pulsates, I am, and this pulsation makes the essence appear triangular as the self, the objects, and the seeing in differential potentia. The essence takes an existential form. The whole takes an existential form, and then it is seen in three forms, three divisions. I am, which is the seer, the object seen, and the seeing. Though in appearance it seems triangular, but in essence it remains one, Sant Gyaneshwar says. So it is all because of the existence which emerges out of the essence. So out of the reflected consciousness, Chidabhas, the entire division of seer, seen, and seeing is created. The entire objective world of names, forms, and objects emanates, appears due to reflected consciousness only, because reflected consciousness becomes limited and finite. And then only the concepts of time and space and objects, senses, everything appears. But in the ultimate analysis, the essence, the pure consciousness, remains as it is, and that is our primary nature. So, this way, the reflected consciousness, that is the egoic I, which identifies itself with this mind-body complex, is explained by these great sages of non-dual teachings, and our final aim is to realize our true nature, which is not this reflected consciousness, which is the pure consciousness. So, friends, we conclude this session here. Hari Om.